I spent a month in the U.S., going to Seattle, Portland, and Eastern Washington. This is the beautiful city of Seattle. After flying into Seattle, I took the Amtrak to Portland. If you've never taken the train somewhere, I highly suggest you go for a train ride. It is the most beautiful way to travel. I mean, check out this beautiful meandering little river here. So this is the countryside in mostly Washington on the way to Portland. If you take the rail, so it's the back countryside areas that you don't normally see. I just think this little swamp is so cute. It's like when you go for a ride somewhere and somebody else is driving, so for the first time in a long time, you get to actually enjoy the scenery, only you can get up and walk around, and they actually do have a dining cart. Yes, there's a little thing on the window, and it pops up in the picture every once in a while, so try to disregard that. Before I left for the US, we got most of our stuff moved into the new house. And after I left, Mom stayed in the rental house for another week or two. Anyway, so she moved the rest of our stuff into the new house, which was quite a project in itself. There was several things that needed to be completed before the house would be livable. But she also slipped and hurt herself. She got quite a bruise on her leg, but she's okay now. Didn't permanently hurt anything. The purpose for my trip back to the US was to go through storage and mail back some things that we needed, sell our vehicles that are still in the US, and to buy some things from the Dollar Tree and Joann's and some other places that we either couldn't find in Panama, or maybe they have them in Panama, we just haven't found them yet. But I was pretty much successful, mostly successful. I didn't find everything in the storage unit that I was looking for, but it's pretty hard to find things in the storage unit when there's so much in there. I did sell 2 of our 3 vehicles that we were trying to sell. That was pretty much successful. In case you're wondering what kind of things that we needed to buy in the US to send to Panama, embroidery thread. The embroidery thread in Panama is kind of like stale thread. And they don't have some of the shiny types of thread that we like to use. Metal. So we got some saw blades and some screws in the US because I can't say that we 100% proved it, but they say that the steel in Panama is not as strong, is not as good a quality as what you'll find in the US. So, just for good measure, I got some of those. Oh, and books in English. They have books in Panama, in spite of what some people would have you think. People in Panama do read books too. However, they are in Spanish, so we have a lot of books in storage. We had a bunch of books that I was supposed to pick up, and I also picked up some novels for Mom to read because she loves her novels. I love my informational books. By the way, we haven't had any trouble at all with power tools that we have bought in Panama. The only trick to buying power tools in Panama is buy the local brand. Don't try to buy the American brands because they're going to be a lot more expensive. Most everything comes with a warranty or a guarantee of some sort. So, there's that. Just keep your paperwork. We haven't been in Panama for like years and years, but what we've seen so far, Panamanian workers, so far they work hard. They're hard workers. They show up. They might be a little bit late because, if it's rainy season or something like that. But they show up to work and they work hard. However, the construction work that we've had done so far has shown us that they will show up and they will work hard and they're gonna do Panamanian work. What do I mean by that? When you look at the average Panamanian house, look at the things that they do differently, and that's probably what they're going to do unless you're looking over their shoulder and say, no, I don't want it done that way. When we started our construction project, we went through the entire house with both the contractor and the engineer, and we told them, this is what we don't want done. We don't want this done, we don't want that done, we do want this done, and we want this done this way. And a lot of it just it was disregarded more or less. So you gotta watch. And it's not any different in any other country. We hired a lot of day laborers and construction companies to do work for us in the US, and a lot of times they screwed it up, and they were supposed to know what they were doing. I thought this was the most cute bus stop ever. I wish I had time to stop and get off and go and look at some of these restaurants and stores and just look at this place. It's beautiful. It's so cute. This is like a barracks or something. I've driven by it tons of times, just in a different location because I was in a vehicle, but it was really interesting to see it from a different angle. So anyway, back to the red house is what we've been calling it. I'll do a walkthrough later on and kind of point out what all we asked them about or we specified, and then it was done differently. And then there's also things that you don't think of, like the window guy came and installed the windows, and there's a separate company to do that. And they did it the Panamanian way, but we hadn't even thought about that would be different from what we're used to. By the way, this is what the inside of the car looks like. You have comfortable seats. You can recline, you can walk around. This is such a beautiful area. I love all the ivy. Now, at this point, I think we're almost to Portland. This is a nice little breakfast restaurant. Notice how they did the ceiling. They painted it black. Sometimes they even paint the ductwork black on the pipes. In this case, they have these slats to help hide all that stuff up there. There are deer everywhere out here. I do kind of miss the wildlife, just that the deer are everywhere. And I don't see too many deer or things like deer in Panama. There's a couple more deer back there.
Okay, I'm videoing. We'll see how fast you can do it.
No problem.
No pressure.
No, not at all, ever. Oh, how long are you visiting for?
Well, I'm visiting until the end of the month.
Well, that's nice. So I will have more time to see you.
Well, not really, because I'm only going to be here for until this Friday.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I got to see you
I
again.
know. Like I said, what are the chances?
I know. Where are you off to after you leave here?
Well, I'm going to Seattle for a week, and then I may be coming back, and I'm going to be in Dallasport for a week.
Perfect.
Well, actually, I think that's actually for a week and a half.
But still, it'll be nice just to get, at least you have time to like kind of visit, not feel super rushed.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. I'm visiting, like, a few different people.
Yes, exactly.
There was a big fire in Dallasport when I was visiting. It was all over the news. I was a little bit worried, but they got it under control in no time. This is literally just barely over a small hill from my aunt and uncle's house. I got to see Harley Quinn while I was visiting. She remembered me. She has a very loving home now. She's living with my aunt and uncle. They spoil her rotten. We ultimately decided that it would be way too stressful for her to fly to Panama, being a high anxiety dog that she is. And that's aside from the exorbitant cost that it is to bring a dog her size. She remembers me though, and she's happy. She's spoiled rotten here. This was a very long, grueling trip. I was so glad to just lay my head on a pillow. Seriously though, this was such a beautiful tree. This is all near my hotel that I stayed for the night in Panama City. There's an old church next to me here, and there's vendors across the way there, and I think a bus station.